Matt, we're not live yet, are we? I can't hear you.
My monitor says so, Carrie.
There he is. Okay, I believe Dave's on.
All right, everybody ready to go?
Ready.
Let's go to work. I'll now call the meeting of Palo Verde College Board of Trustees for Tuesday, April 13th, 2021 to order. Stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
to the republic
For which it stands.
one nation, under God, indivisible.
Bro.
All right. Ms. Million, roll call, please.
Mr. Arneson,
Ma'am.
Ms. Davis,
Here.
Mr. McNeil,
Here.
Mr. Ramirez,
Here.
Mr. Rehnquist, Mr. Rehnquist, Ms. Stiers,
Here.
Dr. Thomas,
Here.
Mr. Dean,
Here.
Dr. Wallace,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Ms. Slagan, Ms. Slagan. Here. Thank you.
All right, before we go any further, let's go with the Palo Verde College Board of Trustees. Welcome to our board meeting today. While our community is under public meeting restrictions, stay-at-home orders issued by the state and local authorities, our board meetings will be accessible to the members of the public via Zoom, telephone, and YouTube live streaming. Board members will be participating from remote locations, and there will be no physical location from which members of the public may attend. The public comments received via email up to 1/2 hour prior to the start of the meeting will be read into the record by the meeting moderator. These temporary modifications to the public meeting law have been authorized by executive orders from the governor, and until further notice, our board meetings will be held in this manner. Our board is committed to the continued education and safety of our students, faculty, staff, and community stakeholders. We thank you for your patience and understanding during this difficult time, and we will now proceed with our meeting. All right, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from March 9th meeting, please.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Carrie, do we have to do this via roll call, or are we good to just a?
You're good with just a consent vote.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Outstanding. We have some minutes. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
Move to approve.
Got
A
motion?
second.
A second. All right, we do have a little bit of discussion on this. The board notes removal of a portion of agenda item 10.4. We will not be working on the payroll and equal employment specialist position tonight, lead maintenance groundkeeper position tonight, and the nursing program instructor / assisting director position this evening. The other 3 positions we'll be voting on as per our agenda. So that, any discussion, any further discussion on that? Questions, comments, or concerns?
Done.
Hearing none. In that case, the approval of tonight's agenda with the noted changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We have an agenda. All right, do any board members need to recuse themselves from any agenda items this evening? Hearing none, moving right along. Ms. Millian, hearing of citizens on agenda items. Do we have anything?
No, sir, we don't.
No, we don't. All right. Brings us down to section number 3, reports. CCA, CTA, Rich Castillo, CCA, CTA president. I saw him on here a second ago. There he is.
There I am. It was just my audio. I turned on my video, but no audio. The CPA has really nothing to report other than the status of our online teacher training programs. The first group has completed the @ONE training, and I was part of the first group along with 12 other faculty. The second group is halfway through in the second section of training. And the third group of faculty just started last week. So by the end of this summer, we will have faculty who are certified with @ONE to meet Title V and Ed Code regulations for online teaching and courses here at the college. So everything is going as planned. And that is all, unless you have any other questions.
I have none, hearing none from anybody else on the board. Richard, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Moving right along. Academic Senate, Sarah.
Hi, good evening. So there's a few things that I want to talk about. First up, very topical, there is new Title V language that's been passed by state legislators that goes into effect May 1st, 2021. So like 3 weeks. This specifically relates to correspondence education. And because that's such a massive chunk of our enrollment, the Senate believes it is incumbent upon us to expeditiously and responsibly update the current PVC correspondence academic standards to fully comply with the new laws and not let this wait until the next term to address. So our goal is to have a revised policy to recommend to you at the June board meeting. The biggest change that we will be addressing is establishing a local policy for regular cycle of assignments and substantial feedback. So just wanted to put that on your radar. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was follow up on our educational technology report from last month. I spoke a little bit in March about faculty's technology needs for our online courses and the broad burden that has placed on our existing IT department. After the board meeting last month, Stephanie, Willie, Eric Egan, the director of IT, and the Senate officers were all able to meet a few times to discuss possible approaches to narrowing this existing gap and really talking about what kind of creative solutions we can come up with. It's hard to overall anticipate some things. For example, like some of our pandemic technological approaches, are these going to be things that students continue to expect to get from us? Are they going to continually expect us to provide these things? And if so, how do we best support those components for student success? But beyond that, we also know that the Chancellor's Office is looking for Palo Verde College, along with all the other colleges in the state, to participate in the virtual campus exchange, which is specifically online courses. And we also know that CDCR is looking to branch out to online classes within the next 5 years, possibly starting as early as this coming academic year. So in the discussions with the VPs and the IT department, the Senate has floated the idea of exploring a separate educational technology department, to support faculty and students with the appropriate infrastructure for the online modality. People in general, we know, learn better when they're not frustrated. Just And we know that technology can be very frustrating. So we would like to enhance students' learning experiences in the online environment by making sure that we're lowering technology-induced frustration whenever we can. Instructional technology is decidedly specific in scope. It's different than what like a webmaster does. It's different than what a network technician does. And that's why it's a separate entity at so many of our fellow community colleges around the state. We're kind of thinking an ed tech department would be responsible for ensuring that our student database is interacting appropriately with our learning management system, and that the presentation of the web design is student friendly, and that the associated help desk is responsive, and accessible in ways that we don't expect nor need from like our existing IT department. So I'm hopeful that we will continue to have these discussions about right sizing the technical support and infrastructure on what we're offering and planning on the instruction side in that scope. Upcoming things for you guys to be aware of: Academic Senate has our statewide plenary, spring plenary that's all virtual this spring. That starts April 15th, this Thursday, and goes through Saturday. We have 5 faculty members attending, which makes me very happy and excited. And also I wanted to recognize Irma Gonzalez, the Associate Dean of Counseling, and Jacqueline Randall, the Director of Student Success and Equity. They will be presenting PVC committee work from the Student Success Task Force at the Regional Guided Pathways Summit on April 29th. This is like pretty big for us. They're going to be highlighting the transformational work that's been done to increase PVC student success within the CDCR environment, from improving scheduling and registration processes to improved counseling and educational planning, improved communication strategies, and our planned improved correspondence course design. This has been like a pretty wide stretch in terms of who's been involved in all of these different changes. But they are going to be the ones doing the presentation, and I'm pretty proud that they're going to be representing PVC. So I just want to say yay. Also, summer and fall registration is around the corner. I can barely believe it. Priority Reg starts April 26th, and I feel like this term is flying by. So that's it from me today. I'm going to end by saying thank you to the board for your ongoing support of the Senate this academic year. It's been exceptionally encouraging to see your interest in the faculty work. This time of year can be a time where so many of us can experience burnout as we approach the final weeks of the term, and it's energizing to know that we have the support of not just the board, but also our incredible administration. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I welcome them.
Hearing no questions, sir. Thank you very much. Also, let Irma and Jacqueline know good job and thank you. A lot of work, a lot of work. Moving right along, 3.3 CSEA, pardon me, CSEA Chapter 180, Richard Soto, President or his designee. Hearing none. Associated Student Body Government, 3.4, Jared Dean.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. The Associated Student Government, we've been working on getting the elections going. So spread the word that if there's any students who might be interested, they are welcome to run for election for office. And we are also looking into preparing for next semester's Week of Welcome. And we're going to be opening up a t-shirt contest from all the high school students for all of the seniors who are going to be future students here at the college, doing some outreach so that way they can design the t-shirt that they could get when they come up to the college. And other than that, we're having our weekly meetings, and you're all welcome to attend if you'd like. Not a whole lot is talked about, but we are there every Tuesday. And other than that, that's about it. Thank you.
Questions or comments for Mr. Dean? Hearing none, Jared, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Brings us to Superintendent President, Dr. Wallace.
I'm going to share my screen here for a minute and have a quick update on our CDC project. And let's see if I can make that go big. There we go. So the CDC Child Development Center project is proceeding along. I showed you this last time. The kids are still out there by the tractor. They're very anxious to have a new facility. They are waiting on this gentleman here, Mr. Eduardo Garcia. He gave us, as I mentioned last time, $1 million for this project, and we've spent probably about a quarter of that so far. And he's looking for the rest of the money we need to finish this thing, another $3 million. And you know, the good news is that the state was already over budget, or not over budget, had a surplus budget of about $19 billion. And then the federal government gave them an additional 39 or 40 billion dollars. So they're flush with cash. So we're hopeful that that means that will bode well for us getting our additional funding for this project. We'll know that sometime around the May revise, I'm pretty sure. This is where they currently reside with about 40 students. And this is the latest rendition from our architects as of, I believe, last Friday. Their sort of vision of where we're going. This, of course, is a architectural rendition, and so it will change somewhat as we move along. But I really like this, what they've done here with these basic primary colors. You know, as I mentioned to the architects, these are the things that the kids will remember for the rest of their lives. And so it has to be an exciting, fun place for them to come to. And this facility will handle 80 students. We're currently, we'll be able to double our capacity with this new facility. This is the back view. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but this is the educational wing over here. And then, of course, there's a covered patio, a new playground out back, plenty of parking, administrative offices, kitchen, the multi-purpose room and stuff will be in this section over
A little bit.
This is the floor plan. We have our classrooms here.
A little bit.
Okay, I'm not sure who's chiming in, but if you're talking to me, let me know. Here's our floor plan here. We have our classroom wing over here. Oops. And kitchen here by the parking lot so they get the groceries in and out easily. Multi-purpose room, patio, covered patio, and of course the playground is not shown here. This is the main entrance. So I've got this turned sideways so it fits. This is actually South 2nd Street here, which actually should be going in this direction, but this will be the main entrance. Everybody will come through here. Staff and others can come through these from the parking lot over on this side. Be a new playground, as I mentioned, classrooms, multi-purpose room, and this is going to be the groundbreaking, the sign that we'll put up. This is a 4x8 sign that Stephanie's working on, and so it has the architect's name on the bottom, Palo Verde College seal, and a little banner that our kids are holding up saying, asking their parents to be part of their success by bringing them to the Child Development Center. So we're excited about that project. Mentioned graduation last time. We've had some developments on this as we've moved along. At the current moment with the county or the statewide restrictions or the level, the tier that we're in, we could have about 200 people in attendance at the graduation. We know that before I move to that, with 200 people in attendance, we have now transitioned to say that we would have all of our graduates in attendance. And we're starting to reach out with a poll to our students to find out if we were to have them in person, how many would participate. If we were to just do a drive-through, how many would participate, that sort of thing. But we could have all of our students personally in the seats with our speakers going, up on the stage like we normally do. That would not provide an opportunity for any parents or family members, no audience per se. However, we believe that before June 5th, we're going to move to the next lower tier, which would allow us a 50% capacity. If we hit that, we could have 600 or 700 people in attendance. And then we could possibly have nearly a traditional graduation at that point. So the way we set this up with this drive-through and the way we're doing it, we can easily transition to more and more people on the ground. So we're looking forward to a really super event, June 5th, which is Saturday, 11 a.m. We haven't really talked about, the traditional breakfast for the board members. We have not talked about that. I suspect we could probably make that happen. So, and let's see. So that's about all I have to report. I did reach out to the chancellor's office and also to our lobbyist to see if they would go to the governor and say, since our graduation's on June 5th, and you have, announced now that you're going to lift all restrictions by June 15th, would you allow us to have a full, graduation here at Palo Verde College? The chancellor said he would do that. He will reach out to the governor. He was not expecting the governor to give us an approval on that, but he said, I'll do that. And our lobbyist is also reaching out to the Congress people that he knows. So we may get a special carve out to where we'll know for sure that we could do a full in-person traditional graduation. But we expect whatever it is, it's going to be good. We're very hopeful about that. And that is my report for today. Any questions on that?
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it.
Pretty.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
excited. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dr. Wallace?
Thank you.
Hearing none. Interim Vice President of Instruction and Student Services, Willie Smith. Willie, you're on mute.
Good evening. We've had several hiring committees out there working with HR. And right before we went on break, we took a look at applicants for economics instructor. And when we came back, we did interviews, and we did interviews via Zoom. And we selected a candidate for that position. However, we do not have a name to bring forward at this time. The committee also took a look at English applications to give you an idea of how many applicants we had in 3 days to view these applicants before we even make the selection. Tomorrow we'll sit down and determine through our processes who we want to select and move forward for the actual interview. So it's quite a bit goes into that. As Richard Castillo, CTA, pointed out, with the faculty have started their third class in online training with that one. And we also, the committees reviewing board policy. We have a couple committees out reviewing those, and we're still continuing to do work with those and try to work through so we can get those before you as soon as possible. We've also brought in student government to look at some of those where it's important for them to have some input. So we've done that in the last few weeks as well. Biju's been working on program reviews for past years and current year. This is really important to us because we need to have these all completed. And I think the next board meeting, you're going to get hit with quite a few program reviews because of the upcoming, I was distracted there, I'm sorry, follow-up report by ICCJC. And having that, so and as most of you know, I've stated before, our report is due before ACCJC on October 1. Usually I'm not very loquacious, but Sarah stated about guided pathways and talked about Jacqueline's and Irma's presentation. And so I'll just agree with whatever Sarah had to present there. And I'm very proud of these two for being able to come forth and do this presentation. And as Sarah stated, this is really, really big for Palo Verde College. And any questions? Thank you.
There are no questions. Willie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Moving right along, Vice President of Administrative Services, Stephanie.
So we have selected a new auditor. It's going to be CWDL. We're very excited. They also perform audits for most of the small colleges across the state of California. So they're very aware of our unique situation as far as, being rural and small. And so we're really looking forward to this partnership, which is on the board agenda tonight. Our monthly cash flow continues to be where we expect it to be. Again, we're not receiving hardly any cash from the chancellor's office. We received everything through January. So we're down about $1 million from last month. We knew that this is going to happen every month until about July, when we start seeing cash again. Our cash on hand is about 13.5 million, which is wonderful. Definitely enough to cover our expenses and everything that's going on until we see the money come in from the deferrals. We're looking forward to next month, our May revise. That should tell us what is going to happen as far as the budget for next year, and also give us an idea of how they're going to close out this year. So we should know by May revise what our COLA, if any COLA, is going to be, as well as any funding increases or what the governor chooses to fund. We should also find out by then on the Child Development Center funds that we have requested. So hopefully we'll have good news for you next month with those items. Dr. Wallace talked about the Child Development Center. Please mark your calendars. It is May 8th at 10 a.m. Is the groundbreaking. We have to do this because we have certain funds that have to start being spent, and we have to start working on the project. So May 8th, 10 o'clock, down at the CDC site, we have golden shovels, or gold, they look like gold shovels, but we have shovels for everyone. We're hoping Congressman Ruiz is going to be there, Assemblyman Garcia, Manny Perez. So we really want to start off this project with a bang. Also, we are moving forward with our counseling project. We had our walkthrough. So bids are due on the counseling project on May 10th. So hopefully we will have a name to bring to you at the board in June so that we can start July construction. We had 3 people come and do the job walk. So we're anticipating all 3 to bid on the project. Other than that, we have, like I said, Silman Wright on there. Silman Wright is our architects, and they've been helping us do a wonderful job with our projects. Other than that, that's all I have, unless you have questions.
What time was that on the May 8th?
10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Stephanie? Hearing none.
Thank you for the report, Stephanie.
Welcome.
Stephanie, thank you. All right, 3.8, Dean of the Needle Center, Lolly.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's really good to see you all. I provided you a written report, so I won't really get into the details of that, but we are gearing up for the start of the registration period. So we're kind of excited about that. We still have construction going on. I'm not sure about the completion of that. Stephanie probably knows better. Other than that, for me, it's been a busy time with meetings and webinars and just sort of gearing up for the reports that we have to provide both to the state and also I updated my program review, so it's kind of busy. But I do specifically want to recognize Alejandro Clark now, because he co-presented recently at the 2021 COAVI virtual conference. It's the Adult Basic Education organization, and he presented that his presentation was meeting the needs of rural adult education populations, which the slides I included in the back of the report if you look at it. And he did a really good job, so I wanted to bring that up to for the board to recognize that. As you know, as the slides say, we do have real challenges to meeting the needs of adult populations here in our area. So it was good for other people to recognize that. We're one of the few consortia that, well, we're probably the only one, the most unique one of all the consortia, having to be in two different counties and have two different high school unified school districts and Palo Verde College. So it was good for other people to realize the challenges that we have. Other than that, things are moving along. We're looking forward to getting a new IT person up here, since our Bob has decided to retire, and so we lost him. And you know, when you lose someone, you realize much more so how much they have been making life easy for us. You know, and so we're looking for someone to replace them, but it's going to be a tough call. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
I have a comment.
Go
I
ahead.
really enjoyed the presentation in the back, the slides, and some of the ideas that I thought were wonderful was having virtual tours of all the campuses. Yes. And having multilingual websites. I think those are great opportunities for outreach to multiple communities, because I'm really excited going to Cal Poly Pomona in the fall that I get to actually see the campus online, which is super awesome. And I think many students would enjoy that as well, that even though they can't be up here at the college all the time, they can still see it. Oh, thank you for that feedback, and good luck with Cal Poly Pomona. Many decades ago, I was an adjunct there. I mean, you know, in another lifetime. So like that campus. And we do actually, the consortium is working on a bilingual website. We have the English website. Now it's being converted, or it's being also provided, will be anyway, in Spanish. So we're working on that.
That'll work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Lolly, thank you very much. Does any board member have any further questions for Lolly?
Thank you for your report. Congratulations to Bob. Happy retirement, and congratulations to Alejandro Clark.
Thank you. I'll pass that on.
All right, brings us down to the Board of Trustees. So we'll start tonight with Stella, please.
None to report. Nothing to report.
All right. Andrew Ramirez.
Great seeing everybody, but nothing else to report.
Member at Large, Dr. Thomas.
Nothing to report, but I would like to say that to thank the and give a attaboy, so to speak, to the administration, the staff, the faculty, and all of the Palo Verde College family for all the hard work that they're doing, keeping us abreast, and also keeping up with all of the changes that's being made. I know that can't be easy because sometimes some of these changes are being so rapidly because of the circumstances and so forth. But it just let us know how much we can accomplish as long as we work together as a team. You're to be congratulated, all of you, on your hard work.
That'll work. Stacy Davis. Stacy may have stepped away. We'll move on to John McNeil.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to make a couple of quick comments. I'm still in the middle of construction. In fact, I'm doing destruction up over here, and my whole body resembles that, and I'm living in dust. And so I look forward to the opportunity to refocus my life and energy and attend all of the trainings. I'm a training nut. I love all that, and I know that I will be much more effective as a board member. I want to make two comments. One is I really appreciate the work that all the staff is doing in including the Needles students, the Needles program here. Love the nursing program. That's what an opportunity, and the child development courses that we're approving tonight. I just think it's a phenomenal job. I worked closely with two different community colleges, Mount Sac and Citrus College, and I just think that this college is just wonderful. The other thing is I just got off a Zoom meeting. I do a lot of work with ACSA, the Association of California School Administrators, and we were lobbying Thurston Smitty Smith, who's our brand new legislator here. And he made a couple of comments regarding working with community colleges and improving the relationships and tying community colleges together with finances. So I'll be interested in continuing our discussion with him as to what he meant by that. The focus of the meeting was K-12, not community college, but he diverted a little bit when he knew that I was on this board. And so he promised that he would be getting together with me at the end of the week or the beginning of next week, talking about what that means. He is not the legislator for the area in Blythe, but he is here in Needles. So that's very promising. He's a businessman at heart. That's all.
Great, thank you. Let's divert back. Stacy Davis, please.
Hi, good to see everybody. So excited about the child development. My son went there last year with Miss Dana, and it was wonderful then. So I'm looking forward to the groundbreaking. I already marked my calendar, and I'm just excited. It looks wonderful, but he's working so hard, and I feel like, gosh, I should be doing something else like everybody else. But thank you to everyone that's doing their job. Thank you for the preview of it. Also, Mr. President, with the whole, it looks wonderful, I tell you, because I've been on the inside and on the outside, and I'm looking at it like, gosh, I wish my kid was there, but he had a great time there. There's great instructors, so I'm looking forward to that. Likewise, with the graduation, I have my calendar marked. I'm looking forward to that. Heard about our basketball team. All those things, it's time for some good things to happen. It's just time, I think, all together with everything that's been going on, hearing all of these great things going on, it's just like a breath of fresh air. And so there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm just grateful that people and things are getting better. It's the new norm is trying to come back and resurface, but I'm just grateful to be a part of this time and the season with all the things going on. And I look forward to being a part of the graduation and the groundbreaking. So it should be pretty interesting.
All right, thank you. Dave Rehnquist, please. I got him on the phone here. Is he rolling right along? Carrie, do you have Dave there? I mean, he's on the meeting, but I can't.
Mr. Rehnquist, can you hear us? he's on the meeting, but I think he's having audio issues.
Okay. In that case, I'll close out this section with my comments. Wanted to congratulate and thank Irma and Jacqueline. As we're very proud of them and the work they've done. I want to thank everybody else for everything, just the enormous, tremendous amount of work that goes on, just like as Dr. Thomas said, to keep us current and to keep everything moving right along the way it needs to. I certainly appreciate it from everybody down and everybody up. I absolutely appreciate it. That being said, we'll move into section number 4 of our agenda this evening and begin our program reviews with Mrs. Jennifer Campbell.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I will be presenting on the program reviews for early childhood education and also child development. I'll keep it brief for you all. When looking at early childhood education, we saw that the number of students who were completing a degree was minimal, and we were hoping to improve that number. Unfortunately, this is a course, or excuse me, a program that cannot be offered at the for the incarcerated students, so it is limited to local communities. And one way that we are trying to increase improvement for the number of students who complete is by increasing recruitment in the community and the high schools. We also are offering more flexible modalities for the courses, especially focusing on providing flexible times for the courses. We found that students prefer having classes in the evenings, so we're trying to adjust that and make it possible for students to take classes in the evenings, and also increase the number of online and correspondence classes for the students to complete. We're increasing partnership with an advisory committee to also increase outreach, and going to have active and ongoing communication with student success and the support program to try and increase the number of students who are enrolling in early childhood education and completing the degree. That's all I have for you for early childhood education, unless you had any questions.
You're unmuted. I don't trust you.
Okay, hearing that. All right. Any questions for Mrs. Campbell? We good there?
Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
Yeah, well, thank you. Certainly appreciate it. All right. Like we've got section 4.1 and 4.2 covered. Child development as well as the early childhood education. So moving right along to 4.3, building construction technology. And that would be Mr. Cesar Lopez, Mr. Cesar Lozoya, my apologies, Cesar Lozoya.
Good evening. I'm Biju Raman, Dean of Instruction and Student Services, presenting on behalf of Cesar Lozoya, who is unfortunately not able to make his this meeting. First of all, I wanted to highlight that this is a program review that catches up for the period between fall of 2014 to spring of 2018. During this time, BCT was expanded into Needles, bringing us additional exposure to Needles Unified and their student population. Also, during this time, we lost our CDCR population because CTE courses are no longer offered to the inmate population. If you notice, the enrollment trend is varying a lot. There are some semesters where it is very high and then it dips very low. And this also, of course, impacts the certificate achievement. So what I want to focus on are what are the improvement plans for studying this enrollment trend. We are working with strong workforce funds to identify what are the root causes of this variance in enrollment and bring outreach and marketing, advertising to the local communities. As you may be aware, around 70% of our population, student population in this BCT program is from the concurrent enrollment high school students. So we want to make sure that we reach out to the community in terms of advertising at Ace, local hardware, and other stores, so that all the community is aware of the wonderful opportunity they have in these courses. Also, to increase the certificate achievement, we have now embarked on a 2-year scheduling plan, which will make sure that all the courses that are needed by the student to complete the degree or certificates are available as planned. Another important development during this time was the fact that the CTE guys, since they predominantly serve the high school population, have aligned their calendar closely to the high school calendar again, so that they do not miss out on any instruction days, and they are compatible with the high school students' schedule. So with that brief introduction and a summary of the strengths and weaknesses, I am open to any questions that the board or anybody else may have on this program.
Biju, I have a question for you, just kind of bragging on you a little bit. I know you're spearheading our report to ACCJC, and you mentioned to me the other day that you had, what, by the way, one of the areas of weakness that we had to address was these program reviews. And you mentioned to me the other day that some pretty amazing statistics, if you wouldn't mind sharing with our board.
Oh, okay. So program review, we are completely caught up, except for the last batch that has to be approved by the board. So May 11th, there'll be a marathon session. The program reviews to be approved by the board. I tried to avoid it, but unfortunately, they've all been stacked up, and we have pushed them through as much as we can. So we hope to be completely caught up with all program reviews, a redesign of the program review website, so that it becomes easy to access all of these reports when ACCJC report is sent October 1st, and when they are scheduled a site visit after that. Thank you, Dr. Wallace, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Biju, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Filling in for Ms. Lazoya, but also for a tremendous amount of work that gets done.
I would just like to say that those poor people are going to have bloodshot eyes. Wonderful reports. Wonderful reports.
Yes.
All right, so let's move right along. 4.4, Human Resources Annual Program Review.
Oh, I guess that would be me.
Sassy.
Good evening, all. Today I'm presenting for the July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020 HR program review. Keep in mind, I'm current, I'm not running behind. I'm not going to read it all, I'm just gonna touch on the highlights. For number one, the purpose of the program. The mission of Human Resources Department is to provide the support and services required to recruit, develop, and retain a diverse and well-qualified workplace by implementing an equal employment opportunity and establish an equitable process and procedures, ensuring compliance and meeting guidelines of all federal, state, and local laws pertaining to personnel matters. The Human Resources provides a variety of services: recruitment, payroll, health and welfare, retirement, trainings, professional development, evaluations, liability insurance, workers' comp, fingerprinting, participates on the collective bargaining and employment relations. Human Resources contributes to the success of our students as well. Number two, the population that we serve is the Board of Trustees, administration, faculty, staff, management, student workers, retirees, programs, the community, and other organizations. Accomplishments and achievements goals. I'm not gonna read them all. I'm just gonna touch a little bit on them. To make sure we provide our staff with the tools they need to do their jobs more efficient, we provide lots of training. We bring a variety of programs to the college to have the training in-house, or send our staff to trainings, conferences, and seminars. We promote professional development through different sources and in associations. My biggest goal is to demonstrate that the district, that there's no bias, that we follow the fair competitive process, and everyone has a fair shot when they're applying at Palo Verde College. Human Resources has upgraded the application process by doing it online. Online application process with NeoGov. It's easy, clean, convenient. We can read what the applicants submit in their applications. Now we have the fingerprinting in-house as well. That has been working wonderfully since now it's a one-stop deal. Our staff can receive all they need in just one stop: the employment packet, the fingerprinting, orientation. The criminal justice program and the nursing students love it since they have mentioned it to us, since they can go to class and then get fingerprinted here while on campus. The service area outcome, the number 4, we provide services to 40 faculty members, 70 adjuncts, 37 full-time classified employees, 15 part-time classified employees, 15 management, 10 administrators, 31 students, and the same board members. We track who we serve, and for the year 2019-2020, we recruit for 28 positions, and we received 289 applications. And like Willie mentioned, that was a slow year. This year I'm killing them, but it's a good thing. Now we have the application process with NeoGov, like I mentioned before. It's easier and it can run reports. We collect data from the same system. We provide the fingerprinting, one-on-one orientation. We explain their benefits. We also had a reclassification study for administration and managers to remain competitive with other colleges. Our strengths, weaknesses, and accomplishments. Our strengths, I feel that I'm always looking for better ways to improve our services. Human Resources implemented a fair competitive process to hire student workers by providing a real life experience to apply for a position, create a short resume, and go through an interview process. All students must apply online. All hiring departments, they get involved in the process. We have student workers manuals. They go through a short orientation. When we got visited by the accreditation team, they learn about our hiring process for student workers. And I feel honored that they asked me if they can share my model with other districts, and I have been receiving phone calls from districts so I can share our processes and procedures. Our challenge is obvious: where we live, our location. It's hard to retain people in Bly because of the remote location, not have much activities. This is what I get from people they're leaving us, and it's too hot. There's nothing we can do on that area, but if we highlight the outdoor activities, the beautiful weather, 9 months out of the 12 years, our salaries they can compete with other districts, and the cost of living here is less. I can say that I have expand the recruitment and the advertisement. We don't have issues now with people applying. We do have a very good pool of applicants. Number 6, human resources and staff development. We are staffed adequately now. Maybe for next year, we might need 4 new faculty members just to hire for those who are retiring, but we're good right now. And facilities, now with the remodel of the 2nd floor, we're in a good status right now. Technology, well, now we have the fingerprinting equipment, which is the wonderful thing to do. Number 9 with finances, I'm real good with the money that Stephanie's giving me for now. And for number 10, I submitted my plan for the next 3 years. They're bigger things that we need to work on. Do you guys have any questions? No questions? I just want to share something personal. I do ask the board to keep me in your prayers. I'm going into surgery on Monday. Nothing big. It's my sinuses all messed up, but you know, I'm gonna have something similar to what Dr. Wallace had. But I'm going under and it's kind of scary. So I'll be working from home and I'm not gonna show my face. It's gonna be just my picture, but I just ask you to please have me in your prayers.
Thank you, Sassy.
Thank you.
Leslie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, folks, moving right along. It concludes the section 4 of our agenda tonight. We'll move right along to section 5, 5.1. 5.1 discussion. Tonight we'll be discussing or should have gone over board policy number 2435, board policy number 3420, board policy number 2715, board policy 3518, board policy 2725, and board policy 3410. All right. One of them is the evaluation of the superintendent and president. There's a little bit of language change in there. The other one is code of ethics, standard practice. Will be our first reading on that tonight. Board member compensation is in there. And non-discrimination is in there. EEO is in there. And child abuse reporting. Those are the corresponding board policies. I'll have a chance to go over these. Do we have any questions, any comments, or any concern? Any clarification on any of the changes that are being proposed or being discussed?
No, Brad.
No? All right. Hearing none. We'll call that a discussion. We'll move on to agenda item number 6, information items. 6.1. The resignation of Robert Van Dyne, a help desk technician 1. His last day of employment will be April 25th. Information item number 2 is reports for purchases and warrants. Everyone's had a chance to go over this very carefully?
Yes.
Yes. Questions or comments for Mrs. Slagan on this?
No.
6.3 is our cash flow analysis. We'll go this carefully. Stephanie, questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to add, point out? Hearing none. Board of Trustees training opportunities. This is what was brought up by Mrs. Millian earlier. It's like April 14th. That board members' role responsibilities. The 21st is the finances and human resources. 28th would be public meetings and public records, and May 5th is conflicts of interest. Carrie, do you have anything you wanted to add on these? All right, hearing none, that brings us to section number 7 of our agenda this evening. right, folks, we have 4 items on the consent calendar to take a quick look at, and then we'll get down to section 7.5. I'll ask for a single motion to approve if we need to during discussion. Taking any of these out, then we certainly will. 7.1. 7.1 is the approval of curriculum, the new and revised courses and programs. Everyone's had a chance to go over this?
Yes.
All right. Questions, comments, or concerns? All right. 7.2 would be an agreement for consultant services with the Blythe Fire Department for the men's basketball team. That would be paramedic services, Doc.
Yes, sir.
All right. Everyone's had a chance to review it. Questions, comments, concerns? All right. 7.3 is bring on Timothy Slagan as a network and security network specialist at 113, step 4. All right. 7.4 is part-time student workers for the spring semester. Everyone's had a chance to go through this. Questions, comments, or concerns? That's Carla Munoz. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of this evening's consent calendar 7.1 through 7.4.
John McNeil will move that. Oh, John McNeil will second that motion.
I've got a motion from, I believe, Angel Ramirez and a second from Mr. McNeil. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, Ms. Millian? Carrie, I think you're muted.
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right, folks, that brings us to
Thank you. So good to me.
I
don't know why I can't figure it out. So
Working
finally
now.
figured out that thing was green, and I thought,
All right, Dave, you good there? You okay?
We're okay.
All right. All right.
we hope so.
Here we go. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the early childhood education full program review.
And Brad, as usual, I'd recommend somebody make a motion to approve all 4 of these together. They're all 4 program reviews that you just heard.
I have no problem
Move
with
to
that.
approve all 4 programs.
Okay, I've got a motion from Dr. Thomas to
Second.
approve 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4, the program reviews of early childhood education, child development, the building construction technologies, and the human resources program reviews. That's what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, I've got a motion from Dr. Thomas. I'll entertain a second, please.
Second.
I've got a second from Stacy. Ms. Davis. Further questions, comments, or concerns for 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, or 8.4? All right, hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right. Brings us down to action items for business tonight. 9.1 is agreement for the independent contractor for Miranda Rodriguez. We've all had a chance to review this.
Yes.
This time I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Mrs. Stiers. A second, please.
Second.
And a second from Dr. Thomas. Questions, comments, concerns for the discussion? Hearing
I
none.
just want to say that's a phenomenal thing she's going to have to do. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Yes.
All right, comments noted. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Moving right along, number 9.2, the agreement for independent contractor for Buddy P. I've gone over this and had a chance to read it.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion from Mrs. Stiers. Second, please.
Second.
Second from Mr. Ramirez. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Mulligan?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Okay, 9.3 is contract to Lamar Billboards, contract number 3551858. I'll entertain a motion.
John McNeil will move that.
Got a motion from Mr.
Second.
McNeil and a second from Mrs. Davis. Further comments or questions? Further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Mulligan?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right, moving right along is 9.5 contract with CWDL that Mrs. Sligan brought to our attention earlier. A lot of chance to review this, yes?
Yes.
Did we skip 9.4? Was I
Yeah.
sleeping?
Yeah. Yeah, we skipped it.
We
Yes.
skipped. Oh,
We
the
voted on it.
9.4. You know what? You're right. My apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My apologies. And in that case, let's step right back into 9.4, or not back in, let's step to 9.4. And I'll entertain a motion for the Lamar Billboards contract for the Needles campus.
Move to approve.
And a motion from Stella and a second.
Second.
And a second from, where'd it come from, Ms. Davis? From Ms. Davis. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Mulligan?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Okay. All right, now we're back in order there. 9.5 contract with CWDL. Changing our auditor today.
Move to approve.
I've got a motion from Mrs. Stiers and a second, please.
Second.
Second from Mr. Ramirez. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Mrs. Mulligan?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right. 1.6 is 2020, 2021 budget revisions. Entertain a motion, please.
John McNeil move the budget revisions.
We've got a motion from Mr.
Second it.
and a question from second from Mrs. Davis. We had a chance to go over this. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Great to have some more money.
Yeah, always good to have more money.
So that's why I wanted to move on it. I wanted my name attached to more money.
Exactly. Any other questions, comments, or concerns for the budget revisions? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right, 9.7 is contract with Silman Wright Architects for the Child Development Center. We saw an example of the work they put forward earlier.
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Mrs. Stiers.
Second.
Got a second from Angel Ramirez. Questions, comments, concerns? It's a big number. Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. All right. 9.8 is an agreement with Cambridge West Partnership Limited Liability Corporation for 5-year construction plan and report. I'll entertain a motion.
John McNeil, move that.
Mr.
I'll
McNeil,
second it.
and a second for Mrs. Davis. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. And brings us down to 9.9 is contract with George Dagnino for a little basketball coaching and service there. Questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to be moved.
Got a motion for Mrs. Davis
John McNeil will second it.
and a second for Mr. McNeil. Questions, comments, or concerns?
I have a question.
Yep.
So Dr. Wallace,
Yes.
so are we ending this contract on April the 30th because of the last season basketball game on the 21st?
Well, I've been told that the games will be over by then. I think George does our, what do you call that? Somebody help me out. But anyway, the games will be over by then is what I've been told.
Condition.
Okay.
Yeah, he's our coach.
Yeah.
But we're ending this contract? Is that what we're?
It's just the end of the season. There's no more for him to do after that. So next season we'll do another contract. So in the fall we'll do another contract if he is chosen as the coach for next season.
Thank you.
Right.
I just want to point out, I was a high school athletic director for many years. That's why I wanted to do that. I love sports.
Okay. Any other discussion on the contract for Mr. Dagnino? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Okay, that concludes the business items of our agenda tonight. Let's move on to action items in the personnel category. 10.1 is recommended equivalency for Dr. Singler.
Move to approve.
I'll entertain a motion from, I've got a motion from Dr. Thomas,
Second.
and a second from Mr. Ramirez. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Absolutely, yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. All right, 10.2, we've got some contract renewals here for Mr. Smith, Mrs. Gonzalez, Ms. Rivera, Teresa Becker, Mrs. Keel, and Lolly.
Move to approve.
I got a
Second.
motion from Mrs. Stiers.
Yes.
Second.
I got a second. I just don't know where from.
Dr. Thomas.
Dr. And a second from Dr. Thomas. Questions, comments, or concerns for the discussion?
I just want to say that I support our gal, Lolly, up here in Needles. She does a wonderful job. And after you get to know me, next time I'll pull her name so that I can give her the recognition and then vote on it. But I think pulling it would freak her out right now.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Mullion?
Mr. Arneson,
Absolutely yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
10.3 is the memorandum of understanding for PVCFA and CTA, the ex-duty assignments and additional compensation. That would be for Mr. Koppel for nursing, Mrs. Gomez as an ESL instructor, Mrs. Lopez as an English instructor, and Maria Lopez as a counselor. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Ms. Stiers. I'll take a second, please.
Second.
And a second from Ms. Davis. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Mullion?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Then 10.4, the approval of reclassified, updated for new job descriptions. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll
Move
move
to
that.
approve.
John McNeil will move it.
Got a motion from Mr. McNeil
Second.
and a second from Ms. Davis. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Brad, just a reminder, you mentioned already, you're voting only on the automotive instructor, nursing program director, and then the bottom one, nursing program instructor. So the payroll was pulled, lead maintenance was pulled, and the assisting director nursing was pulled. Not that there are any problems with those, it's just that the paperwork didn't get completed. So we'll have those for you next time.
Okay. Any further discussion or clarification? Hearing none. Ms. Mullion?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Dr. Ross, I appreciate that because I'm running off I've got the electronic agenda as well as the paper agenda and I flipped it up and there it is. I'm like, woohoo.
Yeah.
I just knocked right over the top of it. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, that brings us down to miscellaneous action items. 11.1 would be the approval of board policies. That would be board policy number 2435, the evaluation of the superintendent, changes made to that. Board policy number 2725, board member compensation. Board policy 3410, discrimination. Board policy 3420, equal employment opportunity. And board policy 3518, child abuse reporting. I'll entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Got a motion from Mrs. Stiers, a second.
Second.
Second from Mr. Ramirez. Further questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Mullion?
Mr. Arneson,
Ma'am.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dyers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
All right, brings us down to 11.2, the California Community College Trustees for 2021 board election. A chance to go through this, and does anybody have any questions for any further discussion on this?
Are we voting for all those people?
Well, hang on just a second. I kind of got a little bit out of line. Let's open this, and then we can discuss it. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion from Stella and a second.
Second.
And a second from Mr. Rehnquist. Okay, now John, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I thought there was a limited number that we're voting for. 7. These are the ones that are being recommended to vote for.
So I
And
created
7.
a slate of candidates. I typically do that for the board. Not that you have to take my judgment, but you have the entire list there, the attachment that says 2021 board candidates PDF. There's 18 of those. One is an incumbent. Typically, they have more incumbents than that, so I'm kind of surprised they have only one incumbent. And so what I've done, I took quite a bit of time to try to condense out of that the 7 that I thought would be, the best for us and the best for the statewide and that sort of thing. Mix of small and large colleges, mix of urban and rural colleges, a mix of varied experiences that they bring to the board and so forth. And so I do have my slate, and I included their little bios that are on their college websites, so you can kind of get a better feel for who they are. But I think they'll be a superb bunch. Not that our vote will necessarily elect them, but there's a lot of people voting on these, so we'll see who we get. But that's my recommended slate. So, and if you have other, you want to, pull others in, that's fine too. It's up to you.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace, for all your hard work.
Thank you. Happy to do it.
I support my president, superintendent. Absolutely. I need his guidance. Thank you.
Is there any further questions, comments, or concerns? So the vote is for our college to go with Tina Miller and Edrin Mundai, Gregory Penza, Cindy Reyes, Mark Edney, Barbara Calhoun, and Deborah Ikadia. I have no problem with that. I've got a motion and a second. We've discussed this a little bit. Any further discussion?
Call for the questions.
Hearing none, Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dyers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Dean.
Yes.
And just as we close this out as it carries, Dr. Wallace, thank you. That's a lot of work to go through those.
You're very welcome.
It's a lot of work to go through those and to keep track of who and where and what, and a good mix. So I appreciate it. In that case, that brings us to section number 12, hearing of citizens on non-agenda items. Ms. Molly, do we have any?
No, sir, we don't.
Thank you, ma'am. And it takes us into section number 13, closed session. I don't think we have any there tonight either, do we, Dr. Wallace?
We don't have anything.
We don't. In that case, I'll take a second, thank everybody for all the incredible amount of work and help tonight with everything. Certainly appreciate it. And our meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Can I say thank you to Brad Anderson for running such a great, efficient meeting? You're terrific. Thanks, Brad.
All right. That was a great job.
It's hard to keep us focused. Good job.
It's a task.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.